What's up, internet, or whoever's watching this? I realize I'm dressed like a tourist here, so apologies for that. But just wanted to make this quick video talking about how I feel at age 23, the big age of 23. And the predominant feeling, I think, is just weirdness. Like, a few months ago, I was in college. And, I wasn't like a social butterfly or anything, but, I had basically become comfortable with a daily routine that consisted of talking to friends, doing homework with people, eating lunch with people that I know, all this stuff. And that was just how the days worked. I got done with classes and I saw my friends. Now, as a, person who's aged a whole 3 or 4 months since graduating college, I realized that that's not the norm in the outside world. And I'm in grad school, so obviously I'm not, really working. I have a job, but it's not a, 9 to 5 or anything like that. But, being in a new city, far away from people that I know, far away from my family and my friends, it's different. It really is different. In a way that in some ways I was prepared for, and in other ways I really wasn't. Now, I'm not gonna lie, it's kind of nice in some ways. Like, you come home to your place, your apartment or whatever, and I have a roommate, but I have my own space now, which is nice. And you just get to kind of decompress. And I like that part about, adulthood, but, today is a Friday, and I have no idea what I'm gonna do tonight. And if I was in college, all I would need to do is just text a friend and say, oh, let's go bowling, or, let's go eat someplace. But since I'm in a new place and in a new position, I don't necessarily have that luxury anymore. And, I realize that there are some people who stay home after graduating college. There are some people who stay, in their areas and keep in touch with friends. I keep in touch with my friends, but it's all digital, which is its own sort of thing. But I guess like the rambling that I'm doing is to say that being 23 feels weird. It's just a weird age because you don't necessarily feel like a full adult. You don't feel as though you're ready to, take on the world and pursue all of your dreams as so many people want you to. But leading up to this time, it's like you always would figure that by the time you get there, you'll be ready and you'll figure it out. But then you get there and you still feel like you really don't have the pieces. And then it sort of hits you that like you'll never get the pieces and you just kind of have to figure it out, which is terrifying. And this is the age, I think, at least this is like the general time frame for which most people figure that out. I'm figuring it out as I, work through my life, and it's scary. I think something that's helped me cope with, I guess, this transition is trying to develop a strong sense of identity and a strong sense of purpose. That's kind of why I'm recording myself. I like to think it's less for other people and more for myself. Just getting my thoughts out there and having something to say about it, so that I'm less of a passenger in my own life and I'm more in the driver's seat, I guess. Pun intended. But yeah. I don't know what else I have to say. I'm still driving to school. But basically life is strange. This is a strange world as this van slowly turns in front of me. This is a strange world, and I don't think anyone has it quite figured out. What I've been hearing more and more as I get older is it's not external things you should be chasing after, it's internal things. But what does that look like? Is that practical in the society that we live in the space that we occupy? I don't know. I don't know if it is. And I find myself saying that a lot. I just don't know. What I do know is that I would like to have some more friends and some more things to do as an adult at my big age than I do right now. And maybe I'll make those friends as I adjust to this new life. And it does kind of feel like a new life. It doesn't feel like a continuation of what I've been doing. It just feels like I'm starting over. Which, I was also a little bit surprised at. It does in a way feel like you're not necessarily building on skills that you got in the past, but that you're just having to create new ones. And I think a lot of people in my generation feel that way when they go into the workforce and they leave their support system behind, their school, their parents, etc. They kind of come to that conclusion, it's I kind of have to just figure this out by myself. There's a big ass truck over there. What the fuck? Sorry about that. Jeez. I don't know what that guy's problem was. Was he honking at me? Or just slowing down to make the turn? Damn. Yeah, I don't even remember what I was talking about. Probably some nonsense. But yeah, I do want to say, I am grateful for the life that I've been given. And I am grateful for the opportunities that I have even now. Because not a lot of people get this. And, a lot of people don't grow up with the support system that I grew up with. They don't have stable families. They don't have the middle class sort of lifestyle that I am used to. And I'm very grateful for that. It's put me in this position, I'm even grateful for, my ability to develop socially. When I was younger, I liked to keep to myself. I was very socially awkward. The way I justified that at the time was that I was independent or something, but in reality I was just scared of people. But when I got into high school and college, I started branching out, started letting myself be myself, and it really worked. I made friends. I think people appreciated how genuine I was. And in college I had a lot of friends. I had people to turn to often. But I think that did sort of transform into a dependency a little bit. Where I started to basically become dependent on my friends. I started to become dependent on the people around me. More so than I ever have in the past. And more than I ever thought I would. And that kind of scared me. And being here realized, it brought a lot of that to the forefront. Being alone and kind of in a new place and being an adult in general brought a lot of that to the forefront. So, I'm trying to work on myself before I desperately try to make friends, but it also just is like a daunting task to try to make friends in this time of your life, because it's like, where do I go? I talk to people in my school cohort, but outside of that, do I knock on people's doors in my apartment? Do I just go to bars and like hope for the best? And that's another thing, is like, it feels like if you're at this age and you're, early to late 20s, is the only way to make friends just by like becoming an alcoholic? Because like I don't really like alcohol. I've drank before, but haven't really loved it. And now it's like, oh, just go to the bar and whatever. Sorry, that was stressful. I had to go across 2 lanes of traffic just then. But it's like, well, is there anywhere else to go? And usually it's like, not really. So that part of being an adult annoys me too. It's like drinking is now a social requirement. But I don't know. Just in general, being an adult, being 23, it's weird. I don't have my life laid out for me. I don't feel super secure. I'm just kind of around, and like I said, figuring it out. I'm gonna keep rambling until I find a parking space, so don't get too worried. But speed bumps. I think like it is probably better in some sense to prioritize yourself, not in a selfish way, but in a way that says, this is the way I want to live my life. These are the things that give me meaning. I'm going to take this time to pursue them. But it takes courage to do that, especially when, the world kind of has your roadmap laid out for you already and is telling you you have to follow this. But, it can be a hard choice to make. I don't know if I've made that choice yet. Working on it, trying to figure out what I want. And it's hard. There's a lot of like mental struggle with that. I'm kind of gotten to the point where I'm speaking in like vague terms now, so I'm probably gonna go soon. I have to go to class anyway, but thank you for listening. If you have listened, thank you for watching my rambling. I don't know how often I'm gonna do this. I just had a thought of like, I want to record my thoughts somewhere. I want to create stuff for other people. So if this has helped you, that's cool. If this hasn't, apologies for wasting your time, but hope you all have a good day, and you're not alone. Just know, if you're in any position like mine, at any age, trying to figure out your life, you're not alone. So, and if there's anything to take from this video, it's that. With that said, I'll stop talking now.